Okay, let's discuss this primary 6 preliminary examination question for mathematics for the problem sums. This is actually taken from the Rosyth school in 2018. A crate was filled with an equal number of apples and oranges. The apples were sold for $315 and the oranges were sold for $225. Alright, so let's pause here a bit before we read on. Now, since the crate had an equal number of apples and oranges, and the next statement was mentioned that the apples, okay, which apples? The apples that was in the crate and the oranges that's in the crate as well were sold for these amounts respectively. So what this means is that there were an equal number of apples and oranges that were being sold. And immediately from this second statement with the total amount of money, we know that the apples were a bit more expensive, since the total amount of money collected for the apples were more than for the oranges. Okay, now indeed the next statement says that each apple cost 20 cents more than each orange. The question is, how many oranges were sold? Alright, so again we employ the RHMC step. So let's read the question once more, and as we are reading, we will highlight, we will underline the keywords and key numbers. We'll choose the right method and we will check our answer. Okay, so a crate was filled with an equal number of apples and oranges. So for example, if there were 5 apples, there will also be 5 oranges. The apples were sold for $315 and the oranges were sold for $225. Each apple cost 20 cents more than each orange. How many oranges were sold? Alright, so the key points here is that the total amount of apples that was sold was for $315. Total amount of oranges that was sold was for $225. And also, there is an equal number, same number for apples and oranges. So again, if there are 5 apples, there will be 5 oranges. And the last statement before the question, each apple costs 20 cents more than each orange. Okay, so to approach this question, you got to understand that there is actually a total difference between the apples sold and also the oranges sold. Okay, so take for example, before I dive into the steps, okay, take for example, if I am selling just 1 apple and 1 orange, what is the price difference that I will have? Okay, the price difference is as simple as 20 cents. Okay, because it's just 1 apple and 1 orange. And let's say, for example, the apple costs $1 and the orange costs 80 cents. Example, alright? Which means that if I have 1 apple and 1 orange that I have sold, the price difference, the total price difference will be 20 cents. But now let's say I increase it to 2 apples and 2 oranges. Okay, the total sale for that apple will be 2 times $1, which is $2. Okay, and the difference between those apples and the oranges will be $2 minus away 2 times 80 cents. Right now, because you're selling 2 oranges. Let's put a comma here in case you mistake this for 20. Okay, so 2 oranges. If you take $2 minus the cost of 2 oranges, which is $1.60, you will get a total difference of 40 cents. Now this total difference will keep on increasing as you increase the number of fruits. Alright, now a very simple way to simplify this problem is to understand that when we get the total difference, okay, and when we divide this by the unit difference. What is the unit difference between an apple and an orange? That's 20 cents, right? So when we do that, we will get an answer of 2. This 2 actually gives us the number of each of apples and oranges that was sold. Okay, so the same thing for this question. We are supposed to find the total difference first between the apples and oranges. So first step, total difference is just the same as $315 minus $225. That will give us an answer of $90. And we employ the same method as in this particular example right here. We take that total difference and we divide it by the unit difference. So we take $90 divided by the unit difference, which is 20 cents. This will give us 450, and this 450 represents the total number of oranges sold and also the total number of apples sold separately. So I sold 450 oranges, and separately I sold 450 apples. Why is that so? Because the number of apples and oranges sold are the same. Okay, now how do we check our answer? We can check our answer by finding the cost of each apple. So each apple, let's find the cost. Since I know that I sold 450 apples, right, and I have the total amount of apples sold, which is $315, I can do a simple division. 315 divided by 400, that gives me 70 cents. Right, and I do the same thing for oranges. Oranges is $225, so $225 divided by that same 450. Oops, over here should be 450, not 400. Please take note. Okay, so that will give me an answer of 50 cents. Now, as you can clearly see, the unit difference between 70 and 50 is actually 20 cents. Alright, so that's how we can check our answers and be certain about our work. So again, the concept or the method that I've used in this question is to first find the total difference, take that total difference, divide by the unit difference to find the number of things, number of apples, number of oranges in this particular case. Okay, so yeah, that's how we approach this particular Rosyth paper question. Thank you.